these people, like, yeah.
Even here, because remember you had the garage scene.
Of course.
Drum and bass.
Yeah.
DJs were heavily used. It's only
it's true.
once that period died, then it's kind of like wasn't really that much use for it.
Yeah. What I think with that, if I'm gonna be honest, it reminds me of the economy, for example. Sometimes with the economy, you have to adjust to what it is. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. So music industry to me is the exact same thing. You'll have a few people, for example, that's doing it for money, and then you have a few people that's not doing it for money. And then when it's what it is it's like it's a division between like two sides. And then some people, for example, be smart enough to be like, let me go to the bottom and find them people, for example, put them people in position or whatever. And some people are just like, well, I don't think that's going to make me money, for example, so let me not even bother with it. I think it's getting where you fit in now. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. And even down to me, I've realized if that's a problem, like let's say, for example, me that does music, I've got specific things that I'd be like, that they could tighten up better, whether it's underground or overground, they could tighten that up better. So it's a good system. Do you get me? But I don't think the system makes sense for both of us. Underground and overground, do you know what I mean?
Can I ask you guys a quick question as well? Like, do you guys feel like, you see like, whichever powers that be within the music industry, do you feel like some of them people are also partly to blame? Like, you know, like record labels, you know, like individual, independent record labels, meaning, do you feel like also they've kind of like done this to a lot of DJs and just focused more on the artists, because obviously these artists are getting following, they're making the money, and it's like, do you feel like, when you think about it, do you not feel like also, because that's what I think as well, I just thought about it, maybe a lot of these big platforms, because let's say quickly, besides a couple of DJs that we know, how many DJs that we know also like get deals as well? I'm just asking this. Deals, yeah.
So I think it's a numbers game.
Yeah.
So let's say, for example, you have a Charlie Sloth, for example, where his numbers are so crazy, he's valuable. So they're like, you know what? We could do something with him. So then they'll give him the opportunity to get the AU vodka thing or whatever the case is. And then depending on, if he's smart, he'll just mix what he was doing before with the thing that he's got and then keep his brand going. So then that can make him last like a good 10 more years. Then there's people, for example, where there's no business plan, no nothing. And because I used to think that as well, but then I realized we're in business. Like the older I've got, and remember, I even said to Chef, I've been in music since I was 17 years old. I only went to get a job 2 years ago when I had kids. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. And one thing I realized when I went to go get a job, I understood everything's a system. If I'm playing within their system, they're gonna sack me and go get someone else to do
crazy.
The job.
Absolutely.
But that's that. True. Whereas outside, we're gonna grind it out. We're gonna be buddy. We're gonna be all of these things. We're the excitement, the hype.
Yeah.
In business, for example, it's business. They need you to get the job done.
It's nothing personal. Yeah.
So I've even started understanding. Okay, if I can never be upset about it, and I even always say this, if you don't get in your feelings about things, for example, you'll be smart enough to be like, you know what, this is a problem, let me fix it. Or let me create my system, for example, and hopefully my system should manifest into that, what I want it to be, and then I could bring in the next set of people, as long as they're good, for example, and then themselves as good. Because realistically, once they got a following, you're going to do the same thing, but just maybe not as strict as them.
Exactly,
You know what I mean? So that's why how I've kind of...
Yeah, man. So fully circle, going back to what you're saying. So a lot of these, like I said, record labels, these independent record labels, to you guys, in terms of DJ-wise, they're just looking at it like, we're just waiting for another DJ to start popping.
Yeah, it's business.
Enough so that we can think them. Because once again, going back to what I was saying, I just feel like, like, there's this... I don't know, obviously, I can't solve everything, whatever, but moving forward as a consumer, I would just like... especially, you know, as a black guy in the UK, I would like to see more DJs, just that gap getting closed a bit more between DJs and DJs and music artists. Even like these little cheeky motherfuckers, I can't believe what I'm about to say. I can't believe. But even these little up and coming music artists as well, hopefully, if I be bluntly enough, maybe one of them might listen, But I see a lot of them as well. They're still, you know, like up and coming, grinding or whatever. Like, you know, and I just think to myself, even these, okay, cool, let's forget about some of the big ones that are gone, these big artists, But even some of these up-and-coming new artists who, they feel like, once again, like we said, they feel like, oh, just because they've got a certain following online or whatever, that's enough for them. But once again, I want us to remind them as well, like, yo, like, you got bare different DJs that could, you know, even play your song once a week or whatever. You got a lot of these different DJs that work for a lot of these, you know, like radio stations. Even though some of these radio stations are not popular like that, but somebody playing your song, I might hear your song. I was even saying to another DJ like that. The reason why I want to continue talking to a lot of you DJs, I want to remind a lot of these different up and coming artists that listen.
You need the DJs.
You get me, like a DJ might even bust you, You get me? Because sometimes a lot of DJs forget like if I'm an up and coming music artist, yeah. If I give you as a DJ, yeah, my song, yeah, you could be playing at a wedding somewhere. You could be playing somewhere, play my song, and before you know, like I've got some new followers, and some people asking you, "What the fuck is that?" You get what I'm trying to say? But I feel like these up and coming artists,
They don't. But you know, they don't understand.
they forget that because of the social media. Once again, you get me?
But recently, to be quite fair, I've had a lot of like artists sending me their music.
Love that. Like that's what I like to hear.
With Charlie Clips and stuff like
I've
heard
of that
one.
name.
I don't know if you've seen the Living Loud.
Big Charlie. And
I'm doing and then Tobes and Fire Crew.
I like Tobes.
And all that. So like people have started giving me like all their music, and I'm like, wow, this is good, and the music's amazing.
Yeah.
The two main, I always say as well, the two main consumers first, before I believe it goes to the masses, is the kids and the DJs.
Yes.
If the kids and the DJ, if the DJ can play something, they'll be like, you know what, let me hear this next to Wizkid's song, or let me hear this next to Skepta's tune, for example. To me, as soon as that can work, you're clear. If the kids are playing your stuff, for example, or going to school or whatever the case is, those are the two main things where I automatically know,
because
okay.
they'll trend your music on
Exactly.
TikTok or wherever.
Yeah,
you know
like,
what I mean?
After that, I'm gonna be real, maybe radio. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
But everything else, and I heard this the other day as well, on social media, where they basically said, whenever you sign a deal, you're not safe. You get what I mean?
I did hear that.
So if you're smart, you'll outwork your
label.
You get what I mean? Yeah. So to me, any single time that man's got an opportunity or situation, I capitalize on it. I do way more than I'm paid for. Now anyway. Before, I might play a little bit because I'm thinking, that person should play their position or do their job.
Yeah.
Now I don't have time for all of that. Because if they don't, I don't even want to get on you. I should still put in my 10 toes. Yeah. It's only if, like, let's say for example, they're like, well, you can't continue, you can't put this out and that. I'm like, alright, cool. Let me smash the shit out of this tune then. Do you get me? Instead of like 10 pieces of content, I might do 20. Do you get what I mean? You just never know.
Yeah.
One of them send it to a DJ, the prime people, for example, that's going to send it, or maybe get a situation on TikTok.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
Yeah.
100%.
Like going back, another thing I want to touch on as well, like with you DJ as well, yeah. Like, you see, like, do you ever have some artists, like you said, yeah, like, this has just started coming up, like, did you have it before, like, where a lot of people are sending you their music, and
Not really.
So it just started happening recently. Okay, and you said you done some work at radio station, yeah?
Yeah.
Like moving forward, do you still work at radio station?
Yeah.
Let's talk about your work at that radio station. Like, how does that work? And
it's like a mixed
what is your slot there?
Okay. Station sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I do like every other Thursday. Like I just do like a 2-hour slot, and I do play some. I play a lot of underground stuff on there because I can play what I want. It's my 2 hours, so I just play whatever.
Yeah.
And I've played like a few people's tracks. I've played them on there. They said, "Oh, can you play this?" And send me the track. I said, "Yeah." And the thing is, it's good because I've got something that someone ain't got. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That's good. That's key because, you know, otherwise everyone will Shazam your music and they will be playing it, and it's like you're the same as everyone else.
Yeah.
So
we all we're living in a day and age once again, in it, where people are like, you're here today, you're fucking gone tomorrow. Yeah. Everybody knows, yeah. So between you two, each, could you give like what advice could you give to a person who, either a DJ, or a music artist who is looking to have longevity in this fucking game? Like, what advice would you have for those people? Longevity within the game, like, especially the day and age that we live in. Like, if you guys got any, or like, what should some people do in terms of like not burn themselves out, or to, you guys understand, like, longevity? How could some people sustain in this day and age that we live in? You get what I'm saying? Like, because all of us. You get me? Because even think about it, like even us behind the cameras, like with people like us that are building our own platform. Yeah, there's this thing where it's like now there's so much options for everybody. You get what I'm saying as well, and it's like if we're talking about longevity in terms of like in our respected industries, each of us, like what's some of the ways to do it? You get me? Like, what are some of the ways to do it?
Be unique, I think. It's the main thing. Just be different. Because the thing is, once you're different, you're already standing out. And you just got to keep researching yourself and researching what works for you.
Yeah.
And I think it's just focusing a lot on yourself and what you want to bring to the table, rather than saying, "Oh, he's doing that, I want to copy him," because that's just everyone's doing that. Like, you'll just be like, you'll be 5 minutes of fame and then it's like, oh, on to the next.
Yeah.
I would say understand it's a long-term game, innit? So pace yourself.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like any single thing that you're doing anyway in life in general. I think what the slow and steady wins the race, isn't it?
Definitely.
So I feel like when you believe in your thing, for example, you'll take time with it. Like a
100.
lot of things in this day and age, I think we've all copied, and this is what I believe, not in a bad way, but I feel like the label makes us do this where. It's not their fault. They don't say, "Oh, copy my man." But what it is because his thing's working, for example, and he's getting the money, he's getting the shows. You might think, "Let me copy that." Whereas there's someone else, for example, like okay, let me use Skepta as an example. Skepta's been in the game for very long. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. He's transitioned so many times. He's switched it up like maybe every single 2-3 years. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. So for me, I just think he's had a strategy, for example, that he's known that this is a long-term game. He's not in it for like 2 singles, for example, and dropping a CD, getting excited after one thing, for example. Now, like, he's going to have moments. Do you get me? So when you understand those kind of moments, for example, to me, you become slow and steady and you enjoy it as well. Do you get me? Like, you there's a reason that you do it. Whereas if you do it for other people and everything and then you don't achieve what that person's achieving, it's like competition. So I would say don't be in competition and slow and steady wins the race. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Yeah, because like I said, man, a lot of people are just dropping out quick, innit?
Yeah.
That person, you was hearing that person last week, and then before you know, it's like they're gone, and you're thinking, like, right, what really happened to them? You get me? And it's like, yeah, man, man, that
They
science.
have a long-term plan, innit?
Yeah, they just want to get rich quick.
Yeah. You look at it like a career. If you look at something like a career, for example, when we finish like uni or school, whatever the case is, we go into whatever job that we prepared for 6 years. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. So you're not gonna do that and then get there and burn out. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. You're gonna, if you're smart enough, for example, that can last you until you're 50, 60, 70. Do you get what I mean? And then you could retire. Do you get me? Well, not 70, but like let's say 60, and then you could retire. So I think have a long-term plan. And you just never know where the game's gonna go as well. So you can't be. I feel like if you're copying everyone's thing anyway, that's where it rubs out as well. It's like Funky was here today, it's gone tomorrow. Whoever was in Funky might not be relevant today. Drill, to me, one of the biggest. I don't know who invested in it, for example, but one of the biggest things of our generation, for example, it's quiet now. Do you get what I mean? Like the money, I think they've given them the most money out of every single other genre that's come in. They gave them the bag, fam.
Right now, the
They're
bag.
giving these youths like $1 million. I'm like, these youths are too young, you know?
Yeah, the bag was. That's what we're talking about. Like people's time to make that money, innit? Like,
But now, it's not there no more. To get me, like them lot can't drop a drill tune and get £1 million tomorrow. Do you get what I mean? So
because it's been overly used now, so everyone wants
the value's gone down. Yeah.
What's the new next
The new
thing?
pattern. Yeah. So you have to think long term.
yeah. And how do you, obviously, respectively, from in your music career, like in your DJing career, how do you two build your self-worth between yourself, to say, you know what, I'm gonna do this job, but I'm not gonna lose my fucking self in this DJing job or in this music industry. Like, how often, like, if at all, like, do you check yourself, your inner self, like on a regular basis to say, you know what, I'm gonna do this, but I'm not gonna get drawn out in this, like I said, or to lose myself in this, because I feel like that is really important as well, especially in both of your industries. You get me, like, because there's so many things that you both want to achieve, but at the same time, it's like what we keep on saying, like you might go to that venue and it's like it's been one of your best venues, like it's been one of your aim to really play that venue, but then you might go in there, but that venue might have certain rules, or this is what you can play, you got to understand, like, and sometimes it's like, would you have to compromise yourself, your integrity, to really get through this door to still continue doing what you're doing, or you know what, maybe let me go look for another door to get through this building so that I don't need to do this to compromise my integrity, you get me? Like, how do you both, like, moving forward as human beings experiencing, you get what I'm trying to say, like a human being experience on this planet, like, you get what I'm trying to say, going through trials and tribulations, through your journeys, but still making sure you don't lose yourself, like I said, through this thing, like,
What do you just keep it like signature, like your own
Yeah.
unique style?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously, I've done gigs where it's like, oh, we have to play commercial music and you have to do this policy, and I've done it, but it's not like, it's only like a short term thing, because I'm not gonna be like going there regular, because I've got my own thing to do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I use it as a stepping stone, get out, you know, get to network and use it as an opportunity, but not. It's not long term for me. Do you know what I mean? That is just an opportunity to do there and then.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think never be scared to say no to things as well. You see me now, like, I think I've always been like this. I've always had emotional intelligence in music anyway. So obviously when you're young, for example, I think you follow the crowd because you think that that's what's important, or you think that that's what everyone else is doing. Where I'm at now, for example, is I know me. So I will always ask people, for example, okay, what's needed of me? If it makes sense, cool, we can run it. If it doesn't make sense, I'm all right. Do you get what I mean? And there's no amount of money, for example, especially if it's going against my brand.
Yeah.
There's no amount of money, for example, that's even worth it. No matter, like I've got to a point where I think knowing myself, for example, people outside of me, for example, can't tell me what I need to do.
Yeah.
If you're helping me to add to it, for example, and we can benefit each other, that's cool. But if it's not that, for example, I don't need to say yes just because it looks shiny. Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
And you both as well, yeah. Like, obviously, your spiritual being. You get me? Like, you know, you identify yourself as a spiritual being more than like somebody who identifies themselves like I believe in this religion or whatever. Like we said earlier, yeah. Like, so would you both say like, yeah, on a regular basis, maybe not every day or every week, but on a regular basis, you both do work to check in within yourself to make sure that everything's all. You get what I'm trying to say? Because once again,
you have to. It's important.
Weirdly, especially I'd say the last few years, I like spending time by myself.
That's what I was saying.
I love that. Yeah,
I spend time by myself to check myself. No one needs to check me. I've checked myself already.
Yeah,
Like I make mistakes. I'm a human being like everyone else, but I definitely check myself before anyone. That's why I spend time by myself. Do you get what I mean? And obviously I'm Muslim in it, so I believe in Allah. But it's like if I could get to my prayer mat, that's the safest place on earth. You get what I mean? Because it's like whatever the situation was, for example, if I could talk to God instead of talking to humans, they're gonna use it against me. I'd rather talk to God first. You get what I mean? Yeah. So I think if you're someone, for example, I'm very self accountable as well. Some people, for example, might not agree, but I agree. Do you get me?
Yeah,
so I'm very self accountable. Like I know when I've messed up, for example, and I know what needs to be done as well. For me though, I can't talk on anyone else.
Take accountability
for yourself.
Yeah. You definitely do need downtime.
100%.
1,000,000%. Yeah, and another thing as well, yeah, you know, obviously all of us are getting to a point where it's like we reasonably, this is the new one for 2024, yeah, we are reasonably, you know, like getting on with age. I'm not, all of us, you know, everybody, even our kids, all of us are growing older every single day, yeah. Like, you know, you got some people who, I'm not gonna say they make excuses, innit? But you got some people who literally say, look, I can't invest in this or I can't do this because I've got my kids to think about. I can't chase this or I can't do this because I've got my kids to think about. Yeah. But yet again, we've got two people on the red chair, yeah? Both parents, but still chasing their dreams and still managing to get through whatever they've got to do, you get me? Like, of course, it's not easy. This is reality, of course. Real life is real life, innit? You get me? It's not some social media highlights or whatever, you get me? Some real shit. Like, how do you guys do it? Like, how do you guys do it? Or even the question is like, once again, like maybe whichever way you want to answer it, like any advice to anyone, any parent who just there like feeling stuck, any dad who's feeling stuck.
Sometimes. You
get me? Like, talk to them guys. Like, how do you guys do it? Like,
that's what I did. I included my daughter in a lot of things that I did.
Yeah.
So she, like, even she can get on the decks. Yeah, she can mix. Like, sometimes she mixes something better than me. And I'm like, because the thing is, it's like if she doesn't see that you like involvement in your interest, then it's like she'll never be interested in it. So you'll never be able to do it because 100%. She's always going to want your attention. So if you bring them into it, they're more likely to be interested, and they will like back you as well. Yeah. And support you. So yeah.
Before double answers as well, yeah. Sorry, Shah, man, yeah. Literally 1 second, yeah. It just something just crossed my mind as well, yeah. Like, we usually get, like we said, like a lot of people usually hit like, I don't know, a brick wall, either spiritually or mentally, and they say, look, I would love to do this, you get me? I would love to do this, but my job needs me, or I need to pay my bills and all of these things. Basically just, you know, like there's a lot of people who are stuck in this thing of like, I want to chase my dreams, but I've got my family to look after, you get me? Like you as a woman, as a mother, yeah? How have you managed over the years, you get what I'm trying to say, to navigate through that, to make sure that whatever's happening in your real life, it doesn't kill like, you know, your DJing career, you know, your dreams, and you still pushed forward. As a woman and as a mother, like, how did you deal with that?
Just take time out. Like, for yourself, you know what I mean? And check yourself. And, you know, just revitalise your mind and yourself and just take care of yourself. And the rest just falls into place, I think.
I hear you. I completely hear you.
For me, what I think a person should never, even having kids, because obviously ever since I had kids, I was quiet for like a year.
Of course.
But sitting back and thinking about it, you should never, I'm just saying, talking from a male's perspective, yeah? I will never stop my dream for anyone. I would still play my position and my role, but my dream has to be a part of the thing. Reason being, I don't necessarily even need to be music. It could be something else or whatever the case is, yeah. But reason being, I think for a man, keeping busy, for example, is what makes us men. So yes, looking after our children, 100,000,000%, but keeping busy and finding other happiness so we don't fall into other things. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. So that the fact that I've got music, I can be by myself and be calm because I've got something to work on. If I didn't have that and it's just my kids, for example, and just going to work and this and that, you don't know what kind of toll that, especially in this society as well.
Yes.
And sometimes I don't even blame the women. I just blame how society's kind of set everything up. For example, it's not really easy for men. So if I can have like at least my dream or something that I'm trying to pursue or whatever, remember we're still young.
Exactly.
If we get to like 40, 50, it's different.
Yeah, of course.
You get me? But at this age, I'm gonna be honest. We've still got energy basically. So it's not like don't stop using your energy just because you think society's telling you to this and that, whatever the case is. But at the same time, obviously, your kids come first because that's you, innit?
Yeah.
You have to make sure that you raise the best type of children. Do you get what I mean?
Of course.
But at the same time, I think not being happy and not chasing your dreams leads to depression, leads to anxiety, leads to all of these things where you're not going to be the best version of yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like I've always said this to myself, especially once I had kids. At first, I was looking at it a bit different because I was like, oh, I don't know how I'm going to be like as a parent. There's so many stuff. And like eventually after a while, I just realised this is, for starters, this is the first time I've had children. So I don't know why I'm being too hard on myself anyway. 2, I'm a very bubbly person. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. So I'm like, let me do what I'm good at. In life, I've realised don't be doing what everyone else is doing, for example. Do what you're actually genuinely good at. If you do that, for example, within its own time, it will flow. Like it's like kids, for example. Kids don't know what's going on. As long as you're paying for them to do this or whatever the case is, you're looking after them, you're paying for it. They're just enjoying life.
Exactly,
We stop doing that the older we get, and we put all of these responsibilities that
true.
sometimes other people are putting on us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? So to me, I just think some people, for example, pace yourself. You're not. It's like I've always said this as well. Someone else could tell you how to do something, but if that person's going to leave you alone to do it, for example, once they leave, you're still finished anyway. So you might as well find a way to how to deal with it, for example, when they're not there.
Of course.
That's how I've started gauging about like when it comes down to chasing your dreams, because it's like me. The moment I went to go work and everything, and like let's say the first year, I was like, I don't forget everyone else outside of me. I don't like the person I'm becoming. It's too strict. It's too. Do you get me? I'm thinking like my dad now. Do you get me? Like,
Nah, for
but
real.
then I realized my dad's whole situation. I'm not in his shoes. I can't live my life the way he did because he was in a completely different headspace and whatever.
Yeah.
My generation's not that deep with specific things. To a degree, certain stuff like we've got specific things that's in place, for example, to make it easier. It's us that's putting the pressure on ourselves. So to me, I just think if you're with your partner, for example, you lot find a balance or a medium. Do you get what I mean? Because outside, the energy outside, they can tell you all the information, but they're not doing it for you.
Exactly. Yeah, it's true.
You get what I mean?
It's
Yeah.
up to you.
Yeah. So that's what I feel like. And then just make sure as a parent you're there. For example, you are raising your children, you are doing your job right, this and that. Because there's a lot of people, for example, that I'm gonna be honest. There's a lot of men that it gets technical and they bust out.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
In real life.
When it starts getting on top of them.
I'm a person, no matter what, I've always said to myself as well, yeah, my dad was there for all of his children. I cannot not be there, but you still have to make it make sense. Whether you're with the
bro.
parent,
100%.
For real.
whether you're with the parent or not with the parent,
Yeah.
I always say to women, I don't really care what society's saying because society's not us two.
Exactly.
Society's gonna leave us to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to make it make. It reminds me of Instagram. The reason I don't take Instagram so serious, for example, is because Instagram's just a group of people that's just talking. There's someone in year 1 there that's in the conversation of adults and all that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In the comments, like
It doesn't make sense. Take your young ass out of this conversation,
I'm getting
boy.
mad and that. So to me, I say the people
crazy.
at hand, for example, that are taking care of business, for example, are the ones that you should be talking to, and then you just know yourself. You get me?
course,
If
yeah.
things are going wrong, for example, take time to think. Right, why is this going wrong?
Yeah,
Where is this?
yeah.
Whatever, and then just
Reflect. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys think, like, we obviously live in a society, like I said earlier, before he came here, where bare people are just talking, innit? And respectively, I'm not one, I could be rude, I could be brutally, like I usually am, and say bare people are talking shit, innit? But who the fuck am I to say you're talking shit? And you're going to understand. So I'm not going to say people are talking shit, yeah? But
you just said it, by the way.
can't believe
Nice
it.
as well, yeah, I can't.
You get me? And my question is, before we go back to, you know, like, the DJ topic, like, properly before we go, yeah? I just want to ask you to, even this quick question, yeah? Like, in a society of, like, where a lot more people are talking more than ever, a lot more people have got a platform, man, female, a lot of people are talking, yeah? What is the definition of a fucking real man is there an actual definition of a real man with all of these things that these people talk about?
There's no guide.
Is there really? You got to say? Because with this question, it's like, I don't know if these, obviously, if this question is the same as saying, what is real love? It's kind of them kind of questions where it's like, it's a bit techie, you get me? Like, because once again, like, all of us have got social media here and, you know, we see a lot of women, a lot of men having these conversations of like, oh, a real man, a real woman, all of these things. Let's keep it real. You got what I'm trying to say? Like us not trying to break it down nice and quick here, yeah? Is there an actual, if I was a teacher in this room, yeah, and I had like my pen and the board was there, yeah, is there an actually word or a sentence that could literally describe what is a real man and a real woman in general, or it's more complicated than that?
People just have perceptions. Everyone has a different perception, and it's like
there's no one thing. There's no one thing.
If there's not, the only reason why I ask that, yeah, sorry to cut you guys, the only reason why I ask that, because sometimes I sit down with my, and when I'm just sipping, yeah, and I listen to these people and I'm like, you know when people are so convinced, you know when you watch an individual so convinced that this is what this means and they're going hard, explaining why. Like we see a lot of these podcasts of people. That's why sometimes I ask, who is right and who's wrong?
There's no right and wrong. I think everyone's got their interpretation.
You get me? Because some people are so convinced, some women, some men.
Let me put it like this, yeah? Let me even break this down. You can have two men, yeah? One of them, he's not the best. No, he is the best actually. You can have a man, for example, that goes to do a 9 to 5. He's not cakey as hell, but he's spending his last. But his woman doesn't appreciate it. That's still a real man to me. Then you can have a man, for example, that's taking care of business, everything, but he's cheating on his woman.
But he's still looking after.
Still looking after. That's still a real man. He's not because of the cheating bit. But he's still taking care of business.
I can't believe she didn't get caught up. I can't believe. You know when somebody catches themselves and say, I can't believe what I just said.
But you know what it is? I've realised everyone's got their thing in it. So because he's cheating, someone might be like, I've had a bad experience of cheating in the past that says, you know what? I'd rather a man that stays loyal to me and doesn't pay all of this and rare this and that. And that's her interpretation. Do you get what I mean? Yeah? I've just realised, for example, is go with what you can handle. Like you see one thing, like life taught me, go with what you can handle.
Balance.
And if you two do not have these conversations and you just have fairy tale, male or female, for example, you're gonna have bad situations. You see me now, for example, like I always say, just be honest. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be rare this and that. Be honest, for example, and then I'll tell you if I can handle that or if I can't. Same thing with women, for example. I'll tell you what I can bring to the table. If that's not your thing, for example, I might not be the person for you. And whether I'm not, alhamdulillah.
But you've given them a choice.
100%. Simplify everything. Do you know what I mean?
At least you've let them know what it is.
100%.
You know.
And you lot also think, because I think this is too, as a single man who's literally, I watch a lot of different things and I'm thinking, God damn. Hey, I've got that can run still. And as somebody, and do you as a man and a woman, do you also feel like some people, some couples or some relationships love to project their personal thing on other people as well? Because once again, I feel like each person's individual situation should be unique to them and however they move. But once again, going back to what I'm saying, like, what's a real man or whatever, it all depends on how people operate, get me? So do you not feel like also, people see other people's relationships or their own relationships and they try to compare each other or to project their own bullshit?
Good and bad, I think we do take on everyone's thing, you know? Good and bad, like, let's say, for example, now, I could walk on the road, and I could see someone in the Air Force, and I'm like, right, they're bad, you know? Do you get me? I'm going to go buy them. Then my brethren's going to see that, but he don't know that I saw them from my man's. Do you get me? Yeah? So I've realised, and then some of us have just got our own style. Some of us might come out in Crocs, for example. Wink, wink. Do you get me?
Right.
Some of us might
you
come
know
out
my
in Crocs,
thing. You know my
we're
thing.
so confident. But that's man's style.
That's my thing.
That no one could tell man nothing. Do you get what I mean? Yeah? So one thing I've realised is just you as how you are as a human being and as a person. Do you know what I mean?
Like before we close, I want to ask, our lovely DJ, one or two other questions about DJs, and my question to you as a DJ, is like, do you feel like the music industry, would ever get to a point, where DJs and music artists, are both getting paid the same money?
That was heavy still.
That's a good question.
Rate my thing.
That's very techie.
Rate my thing.
Possibly.
Talk to us.
It depends on what they've got to offer.
I like that.
Do you know what I mean?
Charlie Scott's making more money than a lot of musicians.
That's what I mean. Like,
It's true.
you.
Big Charlie's love, you know. Hey, Charlie.
That's what I mean, and it's the way that you've got
like
you've set up your thing. So if you've got it going the way you want it to go, you can include so much things that make you make more money than an artist.
I agree. In this day and age, actually, the truth is, because we're in a branding generation, there's a lot of people that's turned their thing into a brand they can.
Spoke about brand earlier as well.
I reckon it can still. At first, I was thinking about it, honestly, but it's true.
It's happening right now. Like
if you bring something to the table, for example, or your brand, for example, is the elite thing, for example, people can't say no. If I've got my numbers up, for example, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, I'm doing so and so, I've got maybe a drink or whatever the case is. So most of these guys, for example, that have got brands, for example, that are not musicians, are bigger than artists. Or making way more money than artists. Chunks and Philly's got way more, and Harry Panero making way more money than certain man. You get me?
True.
Sending each other free bag 5 and 10 bags by accident.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Big up Chunks. You get me?
By accident, that's the thing.
And they're buying each other rolling. They're buying each other.
My brethren ain't bought me no rollie yet. I can't believe.
But yeah, so like you guys think like it could be possible just depending on each individual how they pattern their situation and how the branding.
You can have so many things under that brand.
Yeah.
You know, a drink,
100%,
clothes.
Look at KSI.
You know what I mean? Anything.
He cheated, fam. He's gone.
He's a cheat code in the.
He's a cheat code.
KSI is like a cheat code in the.
He's
What do you call it in the system?
Up, down, left, right. And
Yeah.
Old school
We've got that, what's his name,
GTA.
is it Kai Connect? You could say he's another.
My man's in Jamaica now whining with girl, fam.
But yeah, so and even guys, you got any questions for the DJ before I ask my final question?
No.
I can't think of one at the moment.
Yeah. So yeah, even before I ask my last question, yeah, what moving forward for the rest of the year, because we spoke about how quick this fucking year is going. Yeah. Like,
April,
what are some of the things that like the people should look out for, and also what is the best place for anyone who would like to get in contact with you?
IG.
IG, yeah.
That's
Cool.
like the standard now.
IG. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
IG.
I hear it.
That's where I put everything.
Yeah.
I put everything. It's only because it's quick. You can put it up and go.
Yeah.
So
I don't have to do bare stuff.
Yeah, like as in Facebook, you've got to be there. You're in there for hours, and it's like for me, IG is just quick, simple. Put it up and go.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And just let it work for itself.
Yeah.
Like,
Before I ask you my last question, this just popped in my head, yeah, because I'm a crazy guy like that, yeah. And I want to ask Double one of the questions I asked you earlier, yeah, to see his reaction, yeah. So Dubs, like one of the questions I asked our lovely DJ, yeah, was like in terms of like all of us, creatives, even your average person, yeah, in terms of like being careful to not get lost on the social media world, because they could just shut you down like that. So one of my questions I asked is like, how do you think, like for you personally, yeah, do you think, because I feel like you guys said it's too late, innit? Like, do you think like it's possible, yeah, for a lot of us to still cut back on certain things or whatever, to still have like a balance, yeah, between real life and not social media? Especially a lot of us people, creative people.
I think, let me be real. I think
it was a lockdown.
it's all perspective,
Yeah.
I base everything on perspective,
Yeah.
So I think when the more people are doing something, it's more easier for me to do the other thing. You get me? Don't get twisted, it's too late.
Yeah.
But you could use it to your advantage. It reminds me of AI.
Yeah.
Everyone says AI is a bad thing. I'm like, just use it to your advantage if you're smart enough. Do you get me? As long as it's benefiting you. If it's not benefiting you, it might not be the best thing for you.
Exactly.
When people used to say, when people first made the forks and everything, someone that's never seen a fork called it the devil. Do you get what I mean? Yeah, because it was they've never seen it before.
I can't believe it.
Do you get me? But now, bro, where's the fork? I need to. You get me a food.
Yeah.
Years later, so it just depends, innit? I think it's all perspective, innit?
Yeah.
Definitely.
The only reason why, once again, like I said, it's like, bro, it's actually, when you deep down, obviously I don't know how deep a lot of people like to think about it, but a lot of us, when you deep how much we rely on social media, yeah? But at the same time, it's like, when you deep it, when you think to yourself, bro, it's like that saying what people say, putting all of your eggs in one basket. There's a danger. You could be a good gambler and put all of your eggs in one basket and win big, or
you can fail
or you can fail horribly. So going back to the social media thing, it just as humans overall, you get what I'm trying to say, the dangers of like putting all of our eggs on this social media thing, bro. Can you imagine how dangerous it is putting your whole life, your whole faith, your whole dreams, your whole everything, and you're thinking, I'm gambling on this. I'm gonna put
just
everything
make
on
it
this.
work for you though. because it's like this, for example. There's man that was on the roads,
Yeah.
that they're ballied up, doing whatever they're doing, making 100 bags or 150 bags a year.
Sounds
They've
nice.
got into music, they popped off, whatever the case is. Now you have to show your face.
Yeah.
You've given in.
Big up to K-Chop.
Yeah.
But he went in. But one thing I like about
That's
some
my guy.
some people,
Yeah.
when they come through, pause.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why for that? Why for that? Why for that?
It's mental. Do you get me? Yeah.
Yeah.
When they arrive,
Yeah.
they really take it serious though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not coming here to, because they're like, for me
That's
to
how
reveal my face, it's like me being Muslim. I'm not coming to play with anyone because I'm not even supposed to be doing this.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to do it, let me not do it baby boy level, you feel me? So you could use it to your advantage if you're an on point person.
Yeah.
If not and you've come for fame, I feel for you because it's going to die out eventually. You have to be realistic with yourself.
Yeah.
If you're going to arrive and do it properly, for example, you can benefit from doing that. Do you get me? And then to a degree, later on, you don't have to do the extra footage that potentially you was hiding your face for.
Exactly.
Yeah. On a quick one as well before we go
smart,
back to before I ask my last question to the DJ, yeah, and we call it a wrap today, guys, yeah. Like a quick one for the people. Like this year, what's kind of your music this year? Obviously, you're gonna come back and we're gonna have another session properly. But what's going on? Like dropping new music this year, like music wise, 2024, moving forward for you as well. Like, what you saying to the people?
I'm the best, man. I'm the best.
Because I feel like you know, I feel like doing DJ. I feel like, you know, I feel like you need to rate your thing. All of us here.
But it's too much. I'm too much.
Oh, come on, man.
The confidence is sky high.
And they don't know the family we come from, though. They don't know. It's spooky.
My music, right now, I'm just basically, so I'm even going to studio tomorrow with a big feature as well. I'm just trying to get the structure ready, man, and structure it right. But yeah, like I'm just taking my time because it's like, it's all on me now, isn't it?
Yeah.
You get what I mean? I'm not really, I'm my own boss, innit? You get what I mean? I can do what I want.
But you dropping, so what the...
ASAP.
Obviously, listeners want to really know, like, how much are you going to be dropping music this year?
No, I'm trying to drop a whole project, 10 songs.
Yeah.
I'm going to do singles as well. I'm just going to have fun with it, man. I'm going to let them vibe with it.
I hear it.
Yeah.
I hear it, yeah.
The music's A1 though. The one thing about me, I take long.
I'm going to say this to everybody, yeah? Sorry to even cut you, yeah? You see the music that maybe might play you some off-camera, yeah? I feel like, you know when somebody says, I feel like leaking the music?
He's been on me, yeah.
I feel like leaking the music. Because it's like, you know, you get to a point where you're kicking back and you're like, it's not fair. It's only us who are listening to this music. Like the way a lot of these music makes us feel like, you get me. So it's like, yeah, man. But hopefully soon come though. Hopefully soon come.
I'm gonna be real.
Yeah.
Straight after Ramadan, man. So focused.
Alhamdulillah.
That's the plan. But yeah, the music is. Do you know it is with me? I want to give people what they've been waiting for, kind of thing. So it's like I can't rush the process as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can rush and crash. Do you know what I mean?
I hear that's one of mine as well. Like rushing and crashing.
Yeah. Slow and steady wins the race, innit? So just make it make sense. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, the music's there. It's more than what people expect, and it's gonna be better than a lot of stuff that's out there.
Yeah, it's great. I'm not gonna lie, it's crazy, man.
Nah,
bigger family, man. Like, you know, last question for DJ as well, yeah. Like, what is that number one thing, yeah, that you love about being a DJ? That one thing you love about your career, and you're looking at them saying, "Listen, being a DJ, it's lit in this motherfucker." You get me? What's that one thing?
I'm in control of playing music, and I'm keeping people smiling and moving and bubbling. Yeah, and I like that. I like the reaction from people.
The reaction from people. Well. Like, you like when you play certain tunes and
everybody's bugging.
You see the people
and
reacting
to... and they're bugging. Yeah,
it's working. Like all of us are bugging. Now I hear it though, man. But yeah, once again, thank you so much.
No
you get
problem.
me? Thank you so much for blessing us with your presence.
It's been a pleasure, thank you.
Oh, good, man. Yeah. Definitely, you know, part 2 soon come. Yeah. On the red chair, you get one to say. Double, thank you for even joining us as well, even though you didn't really have to.
Yeah, man, come on.
You get me? But yeah, man. Yeah. All good, man. You get me? DJ the Minx. You get me?
Yep.
Peace and love, man. It's all good, man. Reality Team TV.
Talk your shit, boy.
We back. We back. Love you guys, yeah. All love you each and every time. Peace and guidance.